The Galactic Council's emergency session fell silent as the sensor readings updated across every display. Ship designation ESS Wanderer, declared lost 17 cycles ago, had just materialized at the edge of Consortium space. But something was wrong. The energy signature emanating from the human vessel defied every known law of physics. Commander Elena stood on the bridge of the Wanderer, her dark eyes reflecting the swirling vortex of colors outside the viewport. Beside her, Chief Engineer Moran reviewed the data streams with practiced efficiency, his fingers dancing across holographic displays that would have seemed like pure fantasy to their species just 2 decades prior. "They're hailing us," Elena said, her voice steady despite the weight of what they carried. "All channels. Looks like the whole council wants answers." Moran glanced up, a slight smile crossing his weathered face. "Can you blame them? We disappeared into a spatial anomaly with a crew of 43 humans and a broken faster-than-light drive. Now we're back with technology that shouldn't exist." The device hummed in the cargo bay below, its presence a constant reminder of what they'd discovered in that pocket dimension. The precursors hadn't been a myth after all. They'd been waiting, watching, testing species after species for worthiness. Humanity, stubborn and resilient as always, had apparently passed. Elena opened the channel. The lead counselor, a Vexarian with scales that shimmered like oil on water, appeared before them. His expression was unreadable, but his biosignature radiated concern. "ESS Wanderer, you will power down your vessel and submit to inspection. The energy readings from your ship are in violation of the Consortium's prohibited technology accords." Elena exchanged a look with Moran. They'd anticipated this. The galaxy ran on rules established millions of years ago by civilizations that had learned to fear weaponized physics. Humans, the newcomers who joined the Consortium barely a century ago, were expected to follow those rules without question. "Respectfully, Counselor, we decline," Elena replied. "What we carry isn't a weapon. It's a choice." The Vexarian's scales rippled with agitation. "You don't understand the danger. That signature matches precursor technology. Entire star systems have been sterilized by devices like what you possess." "Then you know what it's capable of," Moran interjected, stepping forward. "You know it can rewrite the fundamental constants of local spacetime. Create or destroy with equal ease. That's precisely why we're not letting anyone take it." 3 dozen warships began moving into position around the Wanderer, a clear threat despite the diplomatic niceties being observed. Elena felt her crew tense at their stations, but no one panicked. They'd been through worse. They'd survived the anomaly after all, and what waited inside it had tested them in ways no military engagement could match. The device had shown them visions, civilizations that had used precursor technology to conquer, to destroy, to reshape reality according to their whims. It had also shown them the pattern. Every species that treated the technology as a weapon had eventually destroyed themselves. The precursors hadn't been destroyed by external forces. They'd simply learned that infinite power without infinite wisdom led to inevitable self-annihilation. "You're making a mistake," another counselor spoke, a crystalline being whose voice chimed like breaking glass. "Humanity is young, impulsive. You've been in space for less than 200 of your years. You cannot be trusted with such power." Elena felt anger rise in her chest, but she kept it from her voice. This was the prejudice they'd faced since joining the galactic community. Too emotional, too aggressive, too unpredictable. Never mind that humans had helped broker peace treaties, shared medical advances freely, and saved countless lives during the Krelti plague outbreak. "You're right," she said, surprising the council. "We are young, we are impulsive, but that's exactly why we understand something you've forgotten over your millions of years of careful, calculated existence." Moran continued her thought, as he often did after years of serving together. "Power doesn't corrupt absolutely. Fear of power corrupts absolutely. You've built an entire civilization on the principle of limitation, of restriction, of never reaching too far. You've survived, yes, but you've also stagnated." The device pulsed in the cargo bay, responding to their conviction. Elena felt it in her bones, a resonance that connected her to something vast and incomprehensible. The precursors had left their technology behind not as a trap, but as a test. They wanted to see if any species could evolve beyond the binary choice of domination or submission. "We're not keeping the device as a weapon," Elena declared. "We're keeping it as a promise. A promise that humanity will explore the boundaries of what's possible without destroying ourselves in the process. A promise that we'll share what we learn, but never surrender the right to learn it in the first place. The warships closed in, weapons charging. The tension stretched like a wire about to snap. Then something unexpected happened. The Wanderer's sensors detected 3 ships breaking formation: a Vixarian scout, a crystalline research vessel, and a Krelthi medical frigate. They positioned themselves between the Wanderer and the Council fleet. "Counselor!" A voice crackled over the open channel coming from the Krelthi ship. "I was dying from the plague 5 years ago. A human doctor named Chen used an experimental treatment, untested and unapproved, to save my life. She said, 'Sometimes you have to trust people to do the right thing even when it's risky.' I'm extending that trust now." More ships began breaking formation. Not many, but enough to create confusion, to make the Council hesitate. Miran looked at Elena with pride. "Seems like we're not the only ones tired of living in fear." The lead counselor's image flickered with what might have been resignation or perhaps grudging respect. "You understand that if humanity abuses this technology, the consequences will be severe?" "We understand," Elena confirmed. "But we also understand that greatness requires risk. Our species didn't leave Earth by playing it safe. We won't stop reaching for the stars now." The standoff dissolved slowly, the Council fleet withdrawing with clear reluctance. As the Wanderer prepared to transit back toward human space, Elena placed her hand on the bulkhead, feeling the subtle vibration of the device below. Miran joined her, his expression thoughtful. "Do you think we made the right choice?" She smiled. "Ask me in 1,000 years. If we're still here, still human, still reaching for impossible things, then yes, we made the right choice." The Wanderer jumped to FTL, carrying humanity's newest burden and greatest hope back home, leaving the consortium to ponder whether they'd just witnessed the birth of something magnificent or the beginning of a catastrophe. Only time would tell which truth would prevail,